One, two, three, four. Oh man. But anyways, yo Andrew, you are the only one that is still a diehard Jalen fan.
With the hoop. Jeremy Lin with a clutch three-pointer. He now has 27. And the Knicks have battled back from 12 down here on the fourth.
And so, like, I get all of my updated Jeremy Lin information from your Facebook posts. Even though he's a part of the Warriors G League team, right? So Santa Cruz is like kind of close to here, like not really close, but it's in the general vicinity, I guess. Right. But like, I'm like, oh, okay, he's still doing all right.
You can go see him if you wanted to.
Yeah. Well, so the latest news is he's had some like back issues, like back things. Now, he's had that throughout his career, so I don't think it's serious.
Yeah.
Not a good time. Because the main thing NBA is probably, this is what I hear from the blogs.
I was going to say, like, dang, you're like the manager or like you're like his agent.
The main thing the NBA like teams are going to care about is whether Jeremy Lin can stay healthy.
Yeah.
But it's nice he's shown that he can play very well, though.
Yeah.
Like, he can get like really good stats and, you know, he plays like his 3-point shots like way better now.
Yeah, his form actually looks better.
Right? Yeah.
From
he worked a lot on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it takes like he was describing him. It's like if you're an NBA player, that means you've been like practicing a certain form, like maybe millions. I don't know, like because that's your profession. You've been doing it one way, so like it's so hard to undo and change your form.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that's something I'm a little bit concerned about right now. Like, just they're gonna have a game tomorrow, so I'm hoping that Lin will be able to play.
Like your son.
If I ever like run into him, like for whatever reason, or if I ever attend like a Santa Cruz game or whatnot when things open up, I'll make sure either a picture, video, signature, memorabilia, whatever. And then not for me, I'll be like, can you make this out to Andrew Moon?
Oh, thank
you. And I will send it to you.
Yeah. Well, my hope is that because the G League thing, I don't know how long it'll run. Hopefully he'll be like on a legit NBA team.
Uh-huh.
Not that, I mean, not like, yeah, G League's still a legit thing. Hopefully he'll still be on on an actual NBA team. Eventually.
Yeah, maybe the Warriors will pick him up. Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? To get that back healed up though. So
yeah.
Funny. You're like being like really anxious right now, like just talking about it.
Yeah, so if he has a bad game, like I have to be careful because that actually brings my mood down. It's really weird because like before Jeremy Lin, before Linsanity 2012, I had roommates. Like some of them were like, if they're a football team or they're whatever, like lost, like they'll be down. Like it would like ruin them for a while.
Yeah.
I thought like like concern with such worldly things. Like, I just like what's up? Like, why do they care so much? Blah blah blah. But I got caught by the Linsanity stuff, and then like I was like, oh, this is what being a sports fan is like. And when Jeremy Lin had his first like really bad game against the Heat, I don't know if you know about this. Like this against the Miami Heat, and he had his first like really bad game. Like, and I remember like being very down those days. And I was like, oh, this is like what those people I used to like mock and scoff at and look down on and ridicule. Like I was like, oh, this is what it's like to be them. So like,
wow,
ruined my compassion, understanding for the sports fanatics.
So I never really like in-depthly asked you, but what is your affinity to him? Is it like he's Asian and an NBA player? He's a Christian, like similar age? Like
I think being Asian American, I think I remember being at the Buffalo Wild Wings on a Friday when he played against Kobe's Lakers and he scored 38 points. Like I remember that day. I remember like my friend Tony Lee inviting me, hey, you should come watch it. And I was like, oh yeah. And then I saw that video about like Kobe, like, yeah, Kobe trash talking Lin.
Yeah.
And then that game, like Lin just like destroyed them. Lin had 38 points, Kobe had 34 points. And I remember like watching that game. Only like the second half, and my friend texted me like, dude, you gotta come, like he's playing really well. And then I remember seeing him play, and then like seeing an Asian American on the NBA stage and with like black and white players, but he was playing alongside them, like, and he was actually thriving in it. I actually felt like a little bit of like healing. I was like, oh, like somebody like me is being acknowledged, like as an athlete. And so that was like, whoa, that was something new. Like, and then I think also adding that he was Christian. He's an Asian American, but he's not like a weird like Asian, like the way like, if you know how like the stereotype of Asians and Asian Americans, I think it's getting better now in media.
Yeah.
Even as early as 2012, and then when we were growing up, like you had to be kung fu master, or you had to be like a little weird or even a little perverted if you're gonna be like Asian, like on the screen, or good at kung fu or something, or nerdy. So like I was like, okay, like he represents us really well. I felt like, so
Okay. Nice.
he's like, all right.
No, it's good because definitely over the past like few years, maybe like a decade or something, you know, there's definitely more representation in professional sports. Like you said, like maybe there were some definitely like, you know, maybe in academia or whatnot, you know, the great Andrew Moon, you know what I'm saying? But like in like film or TV, you know, like you said, it may be like kind of typecasted or stereotyped or whatnot, but you know, but then like, you know, recently with like all the acclaims from like, you know, Parasite or all the stuff that Steven Yeun's doing, all the other stuff like everybody else is doing, you know, I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. I will spare you the fight and not ask you if you remember your first date with Hayoung in such great detail as you remember Jeremy Lin's game. I'm just kidding. Wait, we won't go there.
Well, first we have a conflict about which one was the first date. So
let's get into this real quick. What was the first date to you, Hayoung, and what was the first date to you?
The first date
Andrew?
was when we went to go watch the play.
A play?
Oh.
A play.
What was this play?
What was it?
I don't
I don't remember the name.
Oh, that's so sweet. You guys are so into each other, you don't even remember the play.
It wasn't that great.
Actually, that might be a great date idea. Don't choose like something good where you're like enamored by it, but something crappy where you're like, oh, this sucks. Like, yeah, I know, right? And then like get into each other.
Yeah.
I see. But what was your first date, Andrew?
Yeah. So that was our first like named date, like
official.
Yeah, but I think there are dates that happen that aren't called dates. And so we started by carpooling to small group together. It's a great, for all your young single like people following.
Wait, so that was a date?
That was not a date.
Okay.
But strategy, like this whole carpool business. And like, hi, you want to carpool to small group? At some point, though,
watch your daughters, PG.
Watch them like, you want to carpool to Bible study? Like, no.
No.
And so I remember we went to get pho together, and I picked her up. I think I paid, and we went and got Starbucks afterward, and like.
I remember.
You remember that, yeah.
Now the reason why I don't think this was a date was because I was going to pay for my meal, but he said he wanted to buy it as an oppa, so that's not a date.
I don't remember that detail, but that very well could be true. But I might have used the oppa thing as like an excuse.
I think that was an excuse, but that told me this was not really a date.
But so I'm sure like it's not because it was a matter of like who paid for the meal or not, but Hayoung, you're saying you want to pay for it because you're like, I don't want him to even consider that this is a date.
And I was willing to.
I
Also,
see.
the reason why I didn't consider it a date was because I felt okay wearing sweatshirt and jeans.
I see. When I saw that, I was like, "Oh, she's not taking this seriously."
Okay, that was exactly my intention.
Well, however it started, ultimately it ended where it is now, which is the main point, right? So whether you start with Bible study, carpool, or for a date with sweats, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether one party consider this the first date or the other party consider this the first date. Like you just get the ball rolling.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. That is true.
Yeah.
The pho was good.
Pho was good. Yeah, that was one of the things like we had in common was we both really loved pho, and we still do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the real thing that's holding our marriage together.
Yeah. And Jesus.
Sure. I'm just kidding.
We also share enough common interests, good conversations.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. I'm just kidding.
So anyway, yeah, that's some of our first date stuff.
Oh man, that's so cute. I love hearing stories like that.
Yeah,
like, honestly.
So here's what makes that. I've shared this story with other people. But like, I knew at some point it should be called a date. So I remember being very nervous. We were studying together at a Dunkin Donuts, and I was wondering, like, okay, should I ask her to come to this play with me or not? And we were talking about how we're doing spiritually, and then Hayoung said, I think this year, it was winter time, I think this next year, I want to love Jesus more. And as she shared this, she looked very beautiful to me. Like as she talked about like wanting to go. And then so that's when I felt this sudden like surge of like energy, and I was like, "Hi, would you like to watch a play with me?" And she said, "Okay, sure." And I said, "And just to be clear, I mean this as a date." And then she said, "Okay, yeah." And then I was like, whoa, okay. Well, and then in my mind, I was like, okay, well, and I got the laptop and we were looking at times. And then I was just like, oh, okay. And I like visibly like breathed a sigh of relief, which I think was kind of funny. I wasn't really like the smooth type.
You don't have to be.
But so.
Okay. I don't really like the smooth type.
Yeah. That fact has helped me many times.
If a guy is too smooth, I'm very suspicious.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Well, I was just like, okay, I'm glad we got that done. All right, let's think of a time when we can both go.
I was like, but I accept.
Well, I just thought, no, I should at least give him a chance.
Thank you. Yeah. You were saying that many times, I think. Like, even back with the carpooling. Okay, give him a chance. Oh, giving him a chance.
Well, carpooling was really purely, at least in the beginning, was like, oh, we can save gas money. This is like what you said, by the way. We can save gas, and like you're a newcomer, so I should be nice to you. Andrew was a newcomer to our small group.
Yeah. What's kind of funny is like, yeah, because, yeah, well, no, nothing.
I'm so curious now.
Oh, well, in general, like, kind of, it's good to not like pounce on the new person, I guess.
I agree.
Yeah, but I was the one that was initiating with her, so.
Yeah.
But you had ulterior motives, though.
Yeah. He did.
Yeah.
which is fine. I'm okay with that because ultimately she could say no,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
true.
you carry on.
Yeah.
That is true.
But because you started with the carpool, and then Dunkin' Donut dates, and then a play.
We actually did a lot of Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
We did a lot of like, so like prior to like the actual dates, we did a lot of like study dates.
Yeah.
It was pretty natural.
Pharmacy student.
It was a natural transition.
Trying to write research papers.
Yeah, even
We lived in the
better.
same town, so
Yeah.
and the Dunkin' was in that town.
Like I could walk there from where I live.
You can't beat that setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had to be that way for me because I have like crazy high anxiety levels when it comes to dating. So like it had to like be really easy for it to work out. Like and someone with like extraordinary patience.
Oh.
And liked pho at the same time and you know, all that stuff.
So you guys were a match made in Jersey.
Yes. That doesn't sound quite as good as heaven, but yeah, I'm sure you and Bill was good. Like, was that pretty smooth or?
It's kind of similar because we were like in the same space, but we were even closer because I don't know if I ever shared this with you guys. When I first started, it was July of 2010. There was a different church secretary then. It was a guy. And then 3 months later after I started, he had to move back to Korea or something like that. And then so Pastor Lee was looking for somebody to kind of at least like temporarily fill in. And he was close with Bo, so he asked her to, because she was working nights at a Japanese restaurant, and then she was like, "Hey, you want to just come and you just do it temporarily?" So I didn't know her. She started working. I like walk in through the back door of the church office, right, to come in, and then this new girl is at the desk with the monitors covering the face because you know the desk is towards the back of the room, right? So you just see like this up, right? And then you know that she has very small eyes, so it's like always like kind of staring, like, you know, shooting laser beams at passersby. And then I was scared at first, but you know, we all like had lunch all the time together, like the pastoral staff and her. You know, we went to Fossil a lot at that time.
Oh.
Yeah. So I guess it's true. It's all about the pho. And then so yeah.
Matches.
So over time, you know, like she I liked her, you know, sense of humor because she would also like bite back. Like if I like teasing people, but then like, you know, there's people who are like ha ha ha, you know, that's whatever. But then there's people like who like come back at you, and then she was one of those people, and I was like, oh, okay, all right. So, yep.
Aww.
Nice.
And then 10 years later, it's like, oh my gosh.
3 kids.
I know. It's just crazy. Like, you're just getting old and bigger and bigger family. It's interesting. It's fun.